actually just gonna sit down.
This is the base test, right?
So normally if I'm on a tall table, I'll just walk right into her arm. I'm ready, set up.
You're right. You were right. I should be over here, huh?
Oh, you know.
I know.
Okay.
Hey, we just got to keep Ollie away from the camera here.
Okay. So sit. Nice.
Yes, play, record.
So make sure your patient's relaxed. Are we rolling?
We're going. Go. Action.
Rolling?
Oh, action. Go. Yes, we're rolling.
So I'm going to walk right into her arm. I'm going to use my hand, just going to put it down on the table just to kind of monitor what her shoulder's doing. If I think that shoulder's really depressed, I might just press it just a little bit, but I'm just kind of putting it right here to sort of see what's going on. I call it a pistol grip, especially for those of some of us have small hands. I'm just going to make a gun. That way I have all her fingers, and we're looking for extension, and I'm going to bring her into supination, external rotation, and I'm going to say, let me know when you start to feel any tension, tightness, or pulling, even if it feels like a stretch. I would bring her all the way down, and that's end range, and she looks like she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right at the very end.
I mean, yeah, it's stretching.
Okay, so from here, down, slowly extend the elbow, and at that point up at the end, I'm going to get you to side bend towards me, and then side bend away. Does that change your symptoms?
Yeah, it increases the way.
When you're away, pretty good. And so then I know it's upper limb neural tension side. That is tension by side bending away, so there's a restriction somewhere, possibly more distal. Let's do it.
Let's do it. What do you want to show us, Nadia? Join us, gang.
I'm going to guys, ULNT2A. It's the median nerve again. So ULNT1 is the base test. It encompasses a little bit of all the nerves for a more pure median nerve test. To rule out, let's say you're looking solely at like carpal tunnel, you might want to do this sort of test. So now you want to keep an eye on your patient, but you're actually going to move away from them. You would literally just kind of walk. You would actually just walk into the shoulder to create a little bit of the depression. Same pistol grip. Actually, maybe I lied. Want to make sure everything's extended. Elbows extended, so I'm using my other hand to just block her out. Let me know when you get any tension, tightness, or pulling. And it's just a little more sensitive. So it's much more sensitized to the median nerve, because when I tested her with ULNT1, she was actually able to get all the way down to end range. Here she wants to stop at about 45 instead of coming all the way up to about 90 degrees. So we start to suspecting median nerve. What does that mean? It means that we start to look along the course of the median nerve, which can possibly create entrapment and figure out why that could be. Let's do it. Same.
What was that again?
ULNT2B. Same position that you were in before. You're going to depress your shoulder with your leg. What you want to do is you want to flex everything. You want to flex the fingers, you want to flex the wrist, you want to flex the thumb. What I'll get my patient to do is put the thumb on the inside, make a fist, so that way they have it all kind of covered. Tell them to make a light fist. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to internally rotate, and I'm just going to sort of monitor. Tell me when you start to feel any tension, tightness, or pulling. I'll go to about 45 before I call it a negative test. People tend to be less sensitive with this.
So what nerve are we thinking on this? Radial.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I don't know what that ULNT2B stuff is.
Sorry.
Or not
It's
to be. It is. So radial, okay? Very good.
Hand.
Ulnar nerve? ULNT3?
Ulnar nerve.
Mrs. Butler, continue.
Sorry.
Ms. Butler.
I'm so used to the documentation of it that I don't even like think of it in terms of nerve anymore. Stay nice and relax. I'm going to depress the shoulder again or monitor. I'm going to walk right into the arm. Now this one, you kind of feel like you need more than one hand. Sorry. There you go. Fingers, elbow extended. You're going to start in this position. Sorry, my table's a little too high. I'm going to press her shoulder. Tell me when you start to feel any tension or tightness. I'll bring her to here, and then I'll use my legs to bring her up. No problem? No problem. So if she's positive, she'd say, oh, I feel it here. Maybe not. bring it up, and they'll let you know. A lot of times they'll get the referral.
That's right, Alan. That's it, that test there.
Into their elbow or into the last two fingers. Very clear cut on the neural retention side.
Alan, did I hear you didn't do this as a child?
Never.
Could you show us in the class, please?
Stick your tongue out.
Yeah.
And go,
Yeah. You feeling good?
Alright. So, here's my hand placement. Is it on video?
Yes, you're on.
Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm stretching his left scalene. I'm going to use my hand. I'm going to depress first couple of ribs, maybe depress his shoulder just a little bit. I'm going to hold his head like a football between my forearm, my hand, and my shoulder. Once again, they're not the most ideal sort of position to be in. And I'm just going to start by almost like a retraction, and it's just going to be straight anterior to posterior, stay relaxed. You okay there? Does it feel tight to you, stretchy? No? Okay, can you relax for me? I want to feel 10 pounds of head. Okay.
These this really can get tiring. You get some big noggins, you know?
So, this is your stretch, basic. And then what you're going to do is you're going to side bend away. And then what I'll do is add some rotation towards. Same motion. I'm using my shoulder to depress the chin. And you just want to make sure that the alignment is good. Make sure he's not jammed in this way or jammed back this way. It's straight down. Okay? Any thoughts, questions? Let's do it.
Anterior.
This is your anterior. And for a little more medial, you want to side bend away, rotate toward. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of go along, and I'll talk, and I'll talk, and then I'll start to rotate as I go to the side. While I'm here, I'm also going to do posterior scaling stretch. Posterior scalings are tough. It requires a lot of instruction. What you need to remember is that when you breathe with inhalation, your rib cage is going to obviously come up. You want to depress your first two ribs because that's the attachment point of the posterior scaling. So you need strong fingers for this, and it's a lot of work. But you want to depress first and second ribs. I'm going to get my patient to take a big breath in and breathe out. And as she breathes out, I'm going to follow those ribs down. It's a lot of pressure. Breathe in and breathe out. The next breath, what I'm going to get her to do is I'm going to get you to breathe in, and as she breathes in, I'm going to bring her to the side. I'm going to further depress. I'm going to flex her and bring her away, and I could rotate her away as well. Breathe in and breathe out. And with every breath, I'm following the ribs further down, taking the slack. When I come back to the resting position, I'm going to bring her down, let my patient relax before I let go of the rib cage. Because once you let go of those ribs, they're just going to jump back up and you just lost your stretch. I will also sometimes tweak this, so when I'm in this position, when I'm in this position, I'll also sometimes ask my patient if I think they're capable of it. I'm going to get you to reach your left arm down towards your left knee along the table. So just depress your shoulder and reach down, which will also pull down the scapula and the rib cage and further get a little more depression right there too. So it's a little tweak that you can do once you feel comfortable with some of the basics. Okay.
Great. Just do the upper trap.
Get you to raise your head.
Lift it a little bit. Yeah, drop it.
So this is upper trapezius.
Okay. So hand placement similar to some of the scaling stuff that we just did, only we don't need to be wrapped up onto those first couple of ribs. There's a couple ways that I actually do this. One will just sort of depress, kind of like the whole shoulder. Once again, tables are not ideal for this. I'm going to bring them into flexion, side bending, and rotation towards. And the rotation is very subtle. So a lot of people will just get a lot of benefit from being here, side bend, flex, rotate. The sequencing doesn't necessarily matter. One of the other handhold positions that I'll use is I'll take my hands, providing I'm not squatting like this, and I'll just kind of slide it underneath the scapula. And patients tend to like this because that scapula tends to ride high for people who have upper trap tightness. And I'll do the same thing. Flexion, side bending, rotation. And I personally feel like I